3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
As a part of Kia's ongoing quest to be known as an automaker that's not only known for value, but style, luxury, and performance, Kia dropped the 2018 Kia Stinger onto the automotive marketplace, and ever since then, auto journalists have been raving about this vehicle because they actually had doubts on whether the Kia Stinger can compete against the likes of Mercedes, BMW, and Audi. But it's been a living testament to that for 4 years now. So let's review this 2020 Kia Stinger and also compare it against the 2022 Kia Stinger to see what changes and updates they've made along the way. I'm Wally, and welcome to this episode of Car Talk with Wally. Last October, I decided to jump into the pond and purchase this 2020 Kia Stinger GT Indigo Edition. I found that it was the best combination of style, performance, luxury, and usability. So I just had to purchase this beautiful car that you see behind me. Let's get into the details. As I mentioned before, this is the Indigo Edition. And this is actually one of the most unique Kia Stingers that you will find because Kia only released 500 of these vehicles onto the US market for the 2020 model year. So this is one of 500, so possibly more unique than some of those exotics that you see out there. So just saying. Some of the key features of this Indigo Edition is this beautiful deep chroma blue paint. Sometimes when the sunlight hits it, it's blue, sometimes it's purple. All depends on what your vantage point is. We also have these unique 19-inch wheels, and for some of the cool performance key features of this car, it actually has drift mode. So if you disable your traction control, put it in sport mode, you can actually drift this vehicle. So very, very cool feature. And also if you look to in the interior, and we're going to get to it just a little bit later, that beautiful cocoa brown leather Nappa interior. So let's talk about the outside. As we look at the exterior of this Kia Stinger, there are a few distinctive features that you would notice. One being the headlamps. These are LED and bidirectional, and they are signature to the GT trim. Looking at the grille, you'll see Kia's signature tiger nose grille that is featured prominently on this Kia Stinger. You know, we have a performance luxury vehicle, so we have to step it up. And that's exactly what they did when you look at the front of this vehicle. Throughout the vehicle, you'll also notice a lot of different vents. What are these vents for? A lot of them are for design, but some of them are functional. As you see here, the outlets in the grille are definitely functional. You'll also see a functional vent here for the braking system as well as the engines, because this is a performance vehicle, so you have to make sure that you are cooling this baby down properly. As we move to the side of the vehicle, you'll definitely notice these 19-inch rims. And again, these are signature to the Indigo Edition. So you'll also have Brembo brakes that you see here featured in these beautiful red calipers. So that really sets off this blue car because, yeah, it just fits. What can I say? You'll also notice another vent here, in which that is actually functional. You can actually see air come through to help cool, again, those brakes out, because you have to stop with aggression if you're performing like this vehicle deserves. As we look at the mirrors here, These are very cool because you see again that very unique chrome is featured on the mirrors, as well as the different vents throughout the vehicle. And scanning the profile of this vehicle, very, very beautiful car. I actually get a lot of different compliments on the color of this vehicle, but also the design of this vehicle, because a lot of people don't know what this is. You know, I've gotten this mistaken for a Maserati, you know, a Porsche, all of those high-end vehicles, you know, as well as BMW. And yeah, it's just a very distinctive vehicle if you look at the lines and how Kia has designed this car. This vehicle is a rear-wheel drive platform, so it is signature just to the G70 as well as this Kia Stinger. So because the K9, I believe it was, that was the flagship vehicle for Kia up until recently, this Stinger now takes the cake as the flagship in the Stinger or the Kia lineup. So it is a rear-wheel drive vehicle, so you get rear-wheel drive performance. However, this particular Indigo Edition is all-wheel drive, but it's very cool that you can actually decouple the all-wheel drive, put this thing in drift mode, and 100% of the power will go to the rear wheels. As we scan around the rear of this vehicle, you'll notice how sleek the design is, and these tail lamps and the way that the mufflers are integrated here. I love the chrome tips on this particular model, and we'll actually get into the 2022 model and see what the differences is and how Kia has integrated the rear of this particular design. But you'll notice also, if we look to different design elements here, you'll see how flowing a lot of the lines are on this car. Just look at that. I was just amazed by its beauty. That's really why I purchased it, but it also performs excellently. As we scan around, again, usability is one of the reasons why I purchased this car. Let's jump into the trunk and see what's going on. Yes, this vehicle is a hatch, so all of the things that you may need to put into a small SUV, they can probably fit in this Kia Stinger. So you get luxury style performance and usability. Yeah, I have a yoga mount in there, so, you know, luckily I don't have anything else because I've had canned goods in the back of this car for the last 2 months, but we decided to give those away. Scanning the rest of the vehicle, you'll just see how wonderful the proportions are, but you'll also notice this panoramic sunroof here. And that is a key signature feature that is usually only on GT1 and GT2 Stingers, but it is also a feature that comes with this Indigo Edition. As I approach the interior of this vehicle, one thing you'll notice is a very cool party trick. And the mirrors open as you approach the vehicle. Gives you that nice drama and luxury element. As I open, one thing you'll notice is this beautiful cocoa brown leather interior. Signature to this Indigo Edition, of course. You'll see a very spacious and luxurious interior on this Kia Stinger. One thing to notice about the rear seat in particular is that this vehicle offers more rear seat space than cars like the G70, the BMW 3 Series, and other vehicles that may fall into this class. But it may fall short if you're going to compare it against even Kia's own K5, because although this is a flagship and this is a luxury vehicle, this is a performance vehicle of all things. So you have this rear-wheel drive platform that may just impede on interior space just a little bit. But With that being said, you still have a lot of space in this interior. Just look at the brown and chrome accents throughout the car. Gives you a lot of drama and elegance. I'm gonna start it up and show you all the cool features that the interior has. One of the main things that you'll notice about this car is the fantastic sound system. So this sound system is actually a 15 speaker premium sound system from Hardin Kardon, and that is signature to this Indigo trim, but as well as the GT1 and GT2 models of this 2020 edition. You'll also see the updated infotainment screen here, in which it features navigation, it features Apple CarPlay, and all of the different elements that you would be expecting from a luxury vehicle. You also have dual zone climate control, and be able to adjust all the things that you need here. You also have your different modes in which you can put this car into sport, comfort, as well as turn off the traction control, and you have a hold feature for your brakes. Basically, when you're at a stoplight, you push this hold button and you can basically hold the vehicle in place without putting your foot on that brake. You also have heated seats, heated steering wheel here. We do not have the cooled seats, unfortunately, because that is on the GT1 and GT2 models. So showing you the infotainment screen once more. I'll actually switch the modes for you so that you can see. Look at that sport mode. You have custom mode. As you toggle through, you can see comfort, eco, and smart. So smart is very weird. It kind of adjusts to how you typically drive. So if you're driving and cruising along, you can, just drive easily. But then when you step on the accelerator, then it kind of adjusts the steering and the throttle response, depending on how ridiculous you're going. So very interesting, that smart feature. I don't really use it a lot. I mostly do my custom mode as well as sport mode. Another thing that you will also notice on this Indigo edition is this very, very special suede headliner. Yeah, it's very, very smooth and signature to this Indigo edition. As I step into the rear seat of this Kia Stinger, you'll definitely notice that I have plenty of leg room and foot room to breathe and stretch out. I am 5'8", not super tall, but you see that if a 6-footer got back here, they have plenty of space to luxuriate in this Kia Stinger Indigo Edition. Also, if we examine my headroom, I have plenty of headroom. As you see here, plenty of space to stretch out. So, love the space as well as the luxury in this particular vehicle. As we pop the hood on this beautiful Kia Stinger, you'll notice the 3.3-liter twin turbocharged V6 engine. It's putting out 365 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque. And that'll give you a 0 to 60 of around 4.7 seconds. So this is a very, very quick vehicle. hello, you're probably wondering, how the heck did we do that? We just were looking at the blue 2020, but now we have this beautiful green 2020 Kia Stinger. So a few of the key changes with the 2020. This Kia logo, that's one of the biggest things here. And we also have a GT2 featured. Remember, my vehicle is a GT Special Edition 2020 model. So there's a few different features and added features on this particular model. So as you see here, we have this little weird reflector thing here. It's like, what is this? So this is actually that houses a lot of technology. So we have our lane departure assist, our forward collision warning. We have all of these different features that are featured in this here sensor, in addition to the 360 camera. As you see here, some key differences. This beautiful color, they actually call it the ascot green, and this is specifically for this 2022 model year. So take notice to that. Another interesting feature you probably would not even notice unless I pointed this out, but is a camera here. And this camera is actually for the blind spot detection system, in which when you hit that blinker in your interior, you're actually going to get a screen that projects all of your viewpoint here onto the dashboard. So I think that's a very, very interesting feature, and it's something that's actually available on the Telluride, but now they've included it on the 2022 Stinger. So another cool fact about this model, very, very subtle changes, mind you. So we have these new 19-inch wheels, and another thing to really notice on the Stinger is that the wheels are staggered. So we have 2022s in the front, and the rear we actually have 2055s. So that is signifying the technology of this particular vehicle. Another interesting point to really identify here is that you have a lot of added technology features on this GT2 Stinger. So we have, I'm going to read them out to you because when I mention them later on in the review, I don't want to hear anything about I did not say the right words to these, because I don't remember. Alright, so we're going to read them out. I have blind spot collision avoidance assist. I have rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist. Forward collision avoidance assist. Smart cruise control with stop and go. Lane keeping assist. Lane departure warning and safe exit warning. So, whew, okay, I'm tired already. But anyway, it's just to show you that this vehicle is very safe, but also it has really that first level of autonomous driving when you're on the highway. So, you know, it can keep the lane, you know, in front of you. It can, you know, do all those cool things. Keep the lane for you, as well as detect the distance of the particular vehicle in front of you so that you don't hit it. But if you become close, it will back off of the accelerator, you know, for you. Just automatically does all of those sort of things. So it's kind of a level 1 autonomous vehicle system, if you will. So because this is a GT2 all-wheel drive, we have added features, but we also have a very hefty price tag. The suggested retail price of this is $54,000. But because we have some added dealer features here, it actually brings it up to $56,000. So that is a significant premium over my 2020, which is actually the Indigo Special Edition. But remember, I have a lot less features, and that was listed at $47,000. So that is exactly why you see that big gap in price there. As you see here, we have the same 3.3 liter twin turbocharged V6 engine from the 2020 and 2021 model years, but for this particular year they've added 3 horsepower. So now we have 368 horsepower and we have 376 pound-feet of torque. And also on this 2022, you'll notice the exhaust tips are way bigger. And I'm actually not sure if I like this too much, because if you see we have these chrome tips here integrated into the bumper, but we have the real exhaust kind of peeping out here. I'm not a fan of that. Mine are better integrated. Yeah, I understand it's more bold, it's more brash, but I don't know about that particular feature there. That's the only thing that I'm not too sure about this 22 model. But also, if you look at the tail lights are slightly different. Only really a trained eye would see that difference, but yeah, that's about it for the exterior. So it's a few different features to really take a look at in this updated 2022 model. We'll go from left to right. If you look here in the gauge cluster, this is a configurable, upgraded infotainment center with a 7-inch screen, and actually the sport gauges are a little bit different. They kind of protrude out a little bit more, but you have a lot of different settings here, and they've actually upgraded the graphics for 2022, so very clean graphics that we have here, and a lot of different displays that you have here. As you see here, you can adjust the gauges here. You can look at your fuel economy, direction, and actually if you put in the navigation where you want to go, it actually puts it right here in the center of the screen. And you can also see when you adjust your sport modes, your different drive modes here. You have your smart, eco, comfort, sport, custom, and we'll get into that in more detail when we actually drive the vehicle. But another important thing to note is that I know you cannot see it, but it actually has a head-up display featured on this particular GT2, and it displays your speed, it displays your navigation directions basically on the screen. So very cool feature that is a bit premium. I know some of your mid-grade luxury cars typically offer that feature, but this Stinger gives that to you. So if we go to the infotainment screen here, you'll also notice that this screen is now longer and wider. This is actually a 10-inch screen as opposed to the 8-inch screen that was the upgraded unit on the 2018 through 2021 models. So a few different things here. Actually, it kind of confused me a little bit because the setup is different on the 2020 model. So they have the radio media over here, and then the map and nav is over here. So I don't know why they made that switch, but hey, I guess we'll just go along with it. And if you notice here, so just like the previous generation, so you can input the navigation information and it gives you very cool kind of display graphics here. If I start the guidance,
The route guidance will start now.
Yeah, so you have your traditional nav, but if you also switch the media to the CarPlay, you have your CarPlay available too, and you can access your maps there. But interesting feature here is that it kind of splits it off to this section here, so I don't know what you can do to make it extend the entire screen, but maybe it's something in the settings that I have to play around with. I'm not really sure. But you have all of the different cool features here, as well as this upgraded color scheme here, so that's pretty interesting. Okay, I don't know how to work this, mind you guys, but you know, I'm figuring it out. It's like the same car, but it's different. Look at this. Huh. It's like these little voltmeter things here. That's cool. Another interesting thing to note about the GT2 is that you have this electronic shifter. So it's only available on the GT2s, and then the traditional models like the GT as well as the GT1 has that. It's kind of a traditional shifter that is linked by wire, but this particular one is electronic. You also have your cooled seats in this model, so if you want a hot butt or a cool butt, you can have that option. We're going to try this launch control here, so This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna kind of rev it up a little bit. Right. Now we're talking. All right. That's how you do it. All right, I got it in paddle shift mode. All right, we're in third gear right now. We're gonna go. Ow! Up to red line. Shift. All right. Actually, that's the only thing I don't like. It's actually shifting for me. So, but it did go close to red line, but it didn't really allow me to shift. I wanna feel that, okay, I'm about to lose my mind. You know, I want to feel that. But it gets close. And the one thing to notice about this is that I'm in sport mode, and so my seats are actually adjusting. So as I'm doing these curves, the seats are altering to whatever direction my body is going. So I really love that about this particular mode. And another thing to note is, if we get the gauge cluster, I'm making a right-hand turn. Look at the camera. That's pretty cool. And it's similar to what Honda was offering like way back in the day, like 2012, 2013 in the Honda Accords, where they had the camera, like it shows the blind spot on the particular screen. But Kia really took that a step further, and it started with the Telluride, and they put that camera into the actual gauge display. So that's really cool there. Ow! It's just ready. It's just ready. Well, that'll be it for the comparison between the 2020 and 2022 Kia Stinger GT. Special shout out to Jim Ellis of Kennesaw, because they provided me this vehicle to test, as well as they gave me my baby blue, well, it's not baby blue, it's actually indigo blue, but anyway, my indigo blue 2020 Stinger GT. Bought it right off the showroom floor, so I definitely appreciate Jim Ellis of Kennesaw. And please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!